Hi everybody, today we're going to use the hands and the fingers to challenge our brains. And a lot of people say when you do things like this, you actually build new brain cells, which is a good thing. And so just have fun with this, play around with it. Some people find this really challenging in the beginning. So get yourself in a comfortable seated position. You could even do this lying down on the floor if you wanted to, with your backs of the hands on the floor, or sitting in a chair. Rest your hands on your legs. If for some reason resting your hands on your legs isn't going to be comfortable, you could certainly have your hands floating up in space as long as it's not strenuous at all. We're going to start simple. Touch the tips of the thumbs to the tip of your index fingers. And then open that, and thumbs to middle fingers, open. Thumbs to ring fingers, open. Thumbs to little fingers, open. And then we'll reverse it back to the ring fingers and the thumbs, middle fingers and the thumbs, index fingers and the thumbs. From the index fingers, go back to the middle fingers, ring fingertips and thumbs, little fingers and thumbs, ring fingers, middle fingers and thumbs, index fingers and thumbs. And go through that a couple more times at your own pace. Breathe. If your eyes were open, you could try closing your eyes or keep them open. You could explore different paces, quicker or slower. And then the next time you have index finger and thumbs together, pause. And now we're going to keep the index finger in the thumb with your left hand and touch the thumb to the little finger on the right hand. Now we'll do the hands independently first, and then we're eventually going to bring it all together. So with your right hand, index finger and thumb touching, touch index finger and thumb, middle finger and thumb, ring finger and thumb, little finger and thumb. Now on the right hand, you're starting with the little finger. Thumb to little finger, and then thumb to ring finger, thumb to middle finger, thumb to index finger. And we'll do each hand separately one more time. So you got your left hand starting with the little finger and the thumb, and then go from little finger to ring, to middle, to index. Now your right hand you have starting with the index finger and the thumb, you go from there to middle finger, to ring, to little finger. So hopefully you get the idea. Now, the really fun part here is to try to get the two hands going simultaneously in what I'll call opposite directions. So one hand is going from index finger to little finger, and the other hand's going from little finger to index finger. And some people like to kind of look down at their hands. Some people like to close the eyes. Some people find a super slow pace to get it going, and then they can speed up as they get more comfortable with it. Just be curious, have fun. I laugh a lot of times when I'm doing this. It's a lot harder than it sounds, or maybe it sounds hard. And go ahead and start to play around with getting the hands doing opposite things. So you start on index finger with one hand, little finger with the other, and then you go through. And you know if you succeeded, if when you stop, you have one hand index finger to thumb and the other hand little finger. Because what happens sometimes is you're going through and the brain loses track and you end up with both index fingers and thumbs touching. That's fine. It's not a fail. It's just an experience. Oh, see, I messed up on that one. I can have a few good rounds and then my mind must wander or something. It's one thing about this technique, not only are you building brain cells, but you have to be so focused to do this, especially initially as you're learning it, that you really have to stay super focused in the now, which is what yoga is all about. Play around with this for another minute or two. And maybe notice your breath now that you're starting to get more familiar with it, and see if you can breathe more slowly and comfortably as you're doing this technique. How's it going? Maintain your sense of humor. And this is a good thing to teach to anybody. We could all use a tool that really gets us laser focused, whether you teach it to your kids or teenagers or an aging parent. It's a good exercise. And then pause and open and close the hands into fists a few times. Release any tension. Shake them out. So I hope you enjoyed that and that you will play around with that on your own. The more you practice it, the easier it tends to get, like anything else. Namaste.